Imagine a world where you open up your safe and find only one rifle. For some it might be horrifying, and for me it would be. I had to take all my other rifles out there to show it. But this is my Hunt the World rifle. This is the Browning X-Bolt Pro, and it is a sweet gun. So I want to show you a few things about the gun. We'll kind of talk about just kind of like what it is and kind of price and that kind of things initially, and then I want to give my real owner's review, real thoughts on how it performs, what to expect from it, if I regret my purchase, etc. Okay, so I bought this gun because I have some travel trips to Africa and Texas coming up for hunting with my boys. And I wanted like one gun that does it all. But I also want something very light that can, go with me up into the mountains and everything. Just this is my hunting rifle, and it can take everything from, elk to deer and everything in between. So this is chambered in 28 Nosler. So I think one of the reasons you get this gun is the carbon fiber stock. It is super, super lightweight. I removed the action and barrel and just held the stock, and it is super lightweight. It comes with a nice recoil pad, nice and spongy, not like those super hard rubber ones that you'll find on cheaper guns. The feel of it is nice. I forget what you call this part of the stock here, but it's not too thick. Like on the Macmillan stocks, I feel like it's just too giant. And I feel like this has a nice grip in there. I love the look of the gun. The fluting on the barrel and the fluting on the bolt. It's just really pretty. The looks, apparently some people don't love the look of the burnt bronze Cerakote and the kind of light gold kind of finish on the carbon fiber. Oh, it is beautiful. No, I love it. I think it looks so good. In fact, I think I'm going to Cerakote this scope in the burnt bronze. You can buy on Amazon the matching kind of burnt bronze Cerakote if you want to take it to a shop and have them do it for your scope. I did get these burnt bronze scope rings from Tally. They're available on Amazon around $100. And if you also spend an additional $40, you can get the top to this scope ring with a bubble level so you can make sure your cant is correct each time. So the thing that I don't love about the gun, my number one gripe, is actually the trigger. So I've already checked to make sure this gun is secure. But what I don't love about the trigger is it's heavy. It's a nice quality. I mean, it breaks evenly. There's just no take up. It just pops. There's like no movement in it. I like that it's placed further back because there's no take up. So you're getting kind of a 90-degree movement on your finger. So we aren't kind of pulling the gun one way or anything. But the lowest that I could, when I first got it out, it was 4.25 pounds. And I adjusted it all the way down, and it's still like 3.3 pounds. And it's not bad. I mean, that's light-ish, but I like a 2.5 pound trigger, and there is a difference. Probably safer, whatever, but I don't know. It just feels heavy to me. So you can actually get a spring from M-Carbo that has a different spring for this gun. It did not work. So on their installation tutorials, they're showing a slightly different version of this trigger. There must have been some changes because the access hole that they're using to pull out the old spring is much smaller. And I saw several comments of people that bought the spring like I did and cannot get it in there because it's a different trigger. So really, your only choice is going to be to buy the Timney trigger if you want higher quality trigger. Not the quality, see, that's the thing. It's a really nice professional trigger, but it's heavy. And I wish they would allow us to adjust it down. I think they're afraid of that, the lawsuits that happened in the early 2000s where, guns were firing without the trigger being pressed and stuff. I think they've gone a little too safe here at 3.25. I just don't love. So you can put the Timney trigger in there. It'll cost you $200. But then you lose the kind of bolt release here, so you can open the bolt while it's still on safe. I've heard that doesn't then work after that. Okay, so accuracy. It's awesome. You're going to be sub-MOA right out of the box. I haven't tried a whole bunch of different rounds in this gun, but what I'm shooting, let's see if I have it around here. I don't know that I do. I am shooting ELDX, Hornady's ELDX 163 grain, and I'm sub-MOA accuracy. It's been super consistent. It's pretty readily available in 28 Nosler, which is, there aren't a whole lot of rounds for it. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about what caliber to choose. This is a very light gun with a carbon fiber stock. So really, it's not the right gun to get chambered in 28 Nosler. It's really not. Light gun, heavy recoil on a 28 Nosler, it's not a great recipe. You're gonna end with, I mean, that barrel is, it's bucking up every time. When I shoot bench rest, I can't put my hand back to kind of pull the stock into my shoulder. You gotta have a hand on it because it's gonna bounce up. So if you're recoil sensitive, don't do this, because after about 25 shots, I'm done. I mean, I'm shot with that thing. But for hunting, which is what I bought it for, I hope I'm not gonna shoot 25 times. I hope I'm gonna shoot one time. And for that, I don't mind, and I can shoot it accurately, etc. But if you want a gun that you're gonna go shoot on the range all day long, not the gun if you want it 28 Nosler. Get this in 6.5 Creedmoor, get this in, whatever, do they make that in a 270, something like that. But 28 Nosler, it's just a heavy caliber, lots of recoil for this light of a gun. But if you're like me, you're like, I don't know, I'm not like the man's man that can shoot the 300 Win Mag mounted on my forehead, but at the same time, I'm not super recoil sensitive. And so anyway, 28 Nosler, for me, hunting gun, awesome. I went to a long range shooting clinic in Utah, and the instructor had a huge chip on his shoulder about it. When I pulled this gun out, he was all like, nobody should be shooting 28 Nosler, has too much recoil, you'll never shoot it accurately, and you don't need that much energy to hunt. And he was really going off, and I was like, dude, I'm not shooting competitions with this thing. I just want to hunt. And for that, I think it's an awesome gun. I'm shooting it super accurate, and it's a beautiful gun. It's lightweight for taking around in the mountains. You can get some longer range shots out of it. I'm not the guy that's shooting 1,000 yards a big game, but I want to extend my range as much as possible. And so anyway, that is the Browning X-Bolt Pro. Overall, I love it. Would I buy the exact same gun again? Yes. Biggest gripe, the trigger's a little heavy. It's a little. I mean, I would just like to take half a pound off of it, and then I think it'd be perfect. So that's the Browning X-Bolt Pro. Runs a little under $2,000. I got mine at Sportsman's Warehouse. They also make a long range, a max long range, and several other different versions of it.